G'day guys. I think we've got sound. Hopefully we've got sound. Now, we're only here for a brief session. I wanted to jump on because otherwise I wasn't going to be here today. And we can't have that. We absolutely want to be here today. So, we are here with a very, g'day Justin, special piece. This is our Helix fossil. And I am putting a layer onto it, which I cannot wait for. I've got something special to show you guys as well, aside from this. It's just over there behind the camera. Hi, Ivan. Jacob. Yes, so this table here now has a 1 centimeter thick layer, if you can spot the little sheen on it, of liquid glass. The liquid glass is making it absolutely pop. And on top of that, once we add this, you'll see a layering between the paint. Good to see you too, Jacob. Now, with a few more people here, I'm going to reveal the surprise. It's just over there. I don't play favorites, but in terms of beauty, I think out of all the pieces we've done this year, we've got pieces that represent vitality, love, happiness, joy, all these different topics represented in different pieces. This one has beauty. It's just, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So I can't wait to show you guys, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a few extra people. And remember, we're only here for a brief session. So I'm going to put onto this right now. Hello from South Florida. That's a great question. Pricing out's important. I'm going to get my paint ready and then we're going to dive into that topic because it's an important one. Cheers, Jacob. All right, plate time. 1 second. I might zoom out just a little bit so it's not too jerky there. There we go. I'm going to grab a plate. Here's our one here. Voila. Man, I'm excited about this. Guys, I need you on my level of buzz for what's behind that camera there. It is just, my sweet, sweet Lord, it's good. Now, okay, everything's to scale here. Cheers, Jacob. I think vitality is an underlying feature in most of the works is fun. But that particular one over there, it's because it's so shiny. It's like a 2-meter gem. It's crazy. Guys, it's fantastic. Hello, Lizzie. How you doing? Good to have you back here. I also, naughty me, can I be sneaky here? I probably can be actually with this one. Will this work for me? I think we can make this work. Here we go. This is a Helix, I'm doing great. This is a Helix fossil, and so I'll show you here. I think I can actually bring it into the shot. I spin this around. There we go. Oh, look at that. Voila. Look at these new fancy things Seb has. No, I don't normally like to work on a iPad, but we have one here today because I didn't have any ink left in my printer. So iPad today, it's a little harder working off a screen because when you go from a light screen to the work and backwards and forwards, your eyes have that second or half second to adjust from light to flat, and it can be disorientating. So printing things off is much better, I find anyway, because light gets me. And yes, it is possible to buy the work internationally. Absolutely. In fact, most of it is in the States. Some of it's in London, some of it's in, a lot of it's in Europe and the UK, but most of it is in the States. So if you're international, that's all good. Just fill out the commission and original form. You can order the print straight away, but commission and original form, fill out that, and from there, I'll tell you exactly how much it costs for shipping and framing and all the rest of it. Pricing artwork, that's a good question. It depends on how you do your artwork. If you use 60 man hours or 1 hour, that'll have a huge difference. If you have very expensive canvases, like the one we did the ballerina on yesterday, that was like a $300 or $400 canvas. That's not a cheap job, and so that adds cost into it as well. I've got a canvas. I cheated with this. I wouldn't dare. Are you going to post some macaw paintings from last night? The macaw? Ah, the parrot. Yes, I am. The reason why I held fire is I wanted to post the live, and then I could put the, it's for marketing purposes, post the live, and then I'd get the link from the live and post the time lapse and the photos with a link to the YouTube. So I'm like, hey, like, comment, subscribe. That sort of, that sort of thing. Doesn't really matter, to be honest, but that's what I was thinking. So I thought once I upload the live, impressive, the ballerina unhappy. The ballerina actually seems pretty vitalized to me. She seems in a position of movement. She seems like she's heading towards some sort of hedonistic joy or pleasure or engaging with dance. I really like her. CJ, this does not look like a fossil. It looks aged and beaten up. Oh, all right. Okay, we got some tough customers in the crowd tonight. Give it to me. Well, let's just get that in there a little bit straighter. There we go. Well, the crazy thing about that is it goes through layers. It goes through layers. And I'm glad we've got the aged and beaten up thing on it, because right now it's got this layer of liquid glass on the top, which should make it almost like jewelry. And I was worried with that effect that would get too much of a gem feeling, and the gem would take away from a rustic fossil. But thank God my painting is offending people enough to still make it look beaten up. This is good. I'm glad to hear it. Cheers, Hollywood. Okay, now the shell. Let's do it. I need some more light on the screen here so I can see it. We're adding in blues first. There's your palette. So we've added in the reds underneath. That'll add warmth to the base, and now I want the intense blues to out of it. That's the plan. You collect fossils. That is a cool hobby, Animal Kingdom. I like your style. I like your style. Collecting fossils. What sort of fossils? Are we talking like you find them yourself, or are we talking that you actually go to the beach and you buy them, or you find them, or is that a plate? Of course it is. I'm not offended at all. I like it. I'm just passing criticism. Are the intense blues? That's fair enough. It's okay to pass criticism too. That's completely good. That's a good stance to take. But I wouldn't say just passing criticism. I'd say I'm passing criticism, because if you're going to intensely like something, you've got to intensely dislike some stuff. So if intensely disliking my work makes you intensely love someone else's, then bring the hate, buddy. Let's do it. Let's do it. I want to see someone out there artists get that love. Curious to why I use a plate instead of a palette, because a plate feels perfect in your hand. See that? It sits in it beautifully. Look at that. Easy to use. Can't do that with a palette. Plate, food on the inside, waiter's hands on the outside, paint on the inside, my hands on the outside, and porcelain. Doesn't stick to it very easily. Easy to wash them. Palettes, they hurt your thumb. They're a pain. Not great. What age should I start painting? I want to start to, but I feel it's too late for me. Are you kidding? Painters start at the age of 70 sometimes. Too late for you. Painting's the one thing you can take up at any stage. Any stage. Plate is a boss move. Plate's one of those things where figure out your craft and then figure out what works for you. And I've never ever felt at home or natural with a palette. It just doesn't, it's just not me. And so when I hold a plate, I used one out of necessity one time. I thought, right, I need something. Got a lot of plates around, I'll use that. And I've never looked back. It was the best decision I made. Instead of trying to find my palette again, I was like, where is another plate? Because that's clearly what works. There we go. Yes, absolutely. I break plates every day. Absolutely. You're running that risk. You are running that risk. Right. Do we have Victoria here yet? Do we have Cheryl here? Do we have some of our old school folks here? Because I've got an old project here, which is finally, after 12 layers since you last saw it, being completed. And I want to share it with the team. I want to share it. There we go. Right, let me, I'll tell you what though, guys. Let's just share it twice. Hello from Austin, Texas, one of my favorite places on the face of this planet. Let me grab it. One moment, guys, let's do this. Let's do this. This is an exciting piece. This is everything. It is just phenomenal. And before I do though, just turning that on. There we go. Got it here. Perfect. Bring it into shot. Bear with me. Here we go. All right. Who's ready? Here we go. This is it. Here's the work. This one here is a surfboard. You can see there, after 12 coats since we last had it on the live, of toffee apple style epoxy, spray coats, and now it's at a UV coat. The UV coat's the same stuff that you give to cars. And the reason you give it to cars is so the paint lasts forever. So the surfboard here, I'll just zoom out there and bring it all the way to the shot. The surfboard here, there's a big pink hibiscus flower on it, will hold its colour inside the board as well as a car will. The exact same stuff that keeps the colour in car paint is keeping the colour in this artwork. It's fairly light, I love that. And there it is there. See how that sheen? Beautiful. I'm absolutely in love with this piece. It creeps around the sides a little bit. These are the sides we were working on in that other live a few days ago. Now, we're getting the board photographed on, I think Wednesday next week. And then it's already got a home. So, this one's heading to a place. Typically we're displaying a surfboard, a couple of ways to do it. You can get it a whole thing mounted to the wall. The easiest way to display surfboards is with a guitar stand that you put on the ground, bang, like that, and it sits on it, or on a guitar stand screwed into the wall, and then you mount this onto it and just put some little sticky bits to hold it against the guitar stand, but actually that'll hold it most of its weight securely. That's the best way to do that. So, in short, the best way to display the surfboards is the same as displaying guitars. Learned that from my framing team this morning. Anyway, you can use this. You can use this as a surfboard. It's a little bit heavier because of the epoxy coats on it, so it's not perfect for the job, but you can absolutely take this out. The base of it is actually as strong as what they use for yachts. So you could, this is good for surfing on, but yeah, typically for display purposes, but technically you could. Anyway, okay. Hello, Moldy Asian. Yes, it was, but look, I'm so happy. I've just contacted Raymond, the owner of the surfboard, or the possible owner of the surfboard, to let him know that it's all sorted. And God, I'm just so excited to have this one back in the studio. But that's enough on this one. I'm going to put this to the side, and we're going to look at this one here. So we're adding the blues through it. I'm going to zoom on in and show you the effect that we're having here. The effect. So, when we talk about epoxy layers, and it's easy to show it, I'm going to zoom in with you right now. Bear with me. We're going for a zoom. Hold still. And we go. It's easy to show it when we go right into it before we get too layered. So this is up close on the art. But see those bits of blue? Let's go in on a bit of blue. Let's go the whole way in on one of those little bits of blue. Now, on the paint that's already down, those bits of blue are actually casting a slight shadow, and the reason being is they're sitting on top of that wild, messy undercoat. There we go. And so we get depth within the picture. See these bits here? Shadows underneath them. So we're going to add this next layer on, but leave about half of it untouched. With the reason being that when we get the whole way through the work, you'll have half of it deeper, literally deeper, underneath by about 1 centimetre, and the other half on top. And so you'll be able to see through the layers. Frank, how we doing? Good to see you, Frank. Absolutely lovely to have some fun with your parrot last night. I've got it over there in the corner of the room at the moment. I'm unsure. I think we're going to hit it with another coat, but I haven't made up my mind yet, Frank. But it's a fun picture. It's a fun picture. Michael, hello. Perfect explanation. Look, cheers, mate. You want the parrot picture? Frank, reach out to me on Instagram if you haven't already, and we'll work out where you are in the world and things like that, and see what we can do around shipping and getting it to you. There we go. Let's go like this. You are so masculine. Well, tell that to my high school PE teacher. I was picked last for most sports teams, guys. If there was a team of soccer going on, if there was rugby, I was sitting down there. That's why one of my best friends was always fantastic. He would, if he was ever picking the teams, he'd pick me first. That's what best friends are for, guys. There we go. And I didn't think I was that bad at sport. I was picked last, but I didn't think I deserved it, although the fact I was unaware of how bad I was probably means I was worse than I actually thought I was. Hello, Kat. Lovely to see you. And Rosine Park, shipping. WW shipping? Depends. The larger you go, once you leave about 24 inches by 33 inches by 24 inches, once you go above that size, you're getting into an oversized zone. And regardless, you're shipping something precious, and so the whole process is slightly different. You can't ship it like you'd ship a box of sticks. It has to be shipped like it's something quite special and precious, and it's all insured, and so a lot of factors come into it. A lot of factors. Factors on my end, you don't need to worry about it one bit. I'll make sure it arrives at your doorstep. But shipping can be a bit of a challenge. It's one of those things that makes it really hard to start as an artist as well, because you have to learn it all from day dot. No one taught us that stuff in art school. We just had to figure it out. Hey, Danny. Maybe they were intimidated by... No, it wasn't that. I was terrible at ball sports, Animal Kingdom. I couldn't catch, couldn't throw. Worst of all, I didn't pick up on on when someone was even trying to pass the ball to me. I was like, I was never really prepared. But anyway, you know what I learned? I learned that it's all about participation. When I was allowed to. There we go. What other hobbies do I have? Oh, I like to rock climb. I like to dance, read, write. I like to snowboard. I love an indoor rock climbing wall. We've got a fantastic one here in Auckland that also sports a bar. Go figure. That's fun. Hello! My paintings, yeah, cheers, Steve. And if it didn't, I actually had one that showed up with, I don't know what they'd done, they must have dropped a sledgehammer on it because the packaging's near bulletproof and they dropped a sledgehammer on it and it got the frame a little bit cracked. And so we repaired the frame, but it was on insurance, so we got all that stuff covered. And I appreciate that, Steve. I appreciate the shout out. And we've got your wooden frame selected and it's very cool. It's very cool. So they're going to work on that over the weekend and we'll pick it up early next week. And then I'll send you through some shots, Steve. We'll see what you think. Hi Seb, why wasn't you a model? You're very calm. I love your art. Thanks, May. I appreciate that. Because honestly, I love to paint. This is what I do. I don't think that modeling would be a very good way to spread a bunch of happiness in the world. I'm sure it can be, but it's not the way I want to do it. I want to share art with you guys. I want to show you something real. I want to show you something raw, and I want to connect with people through a process which I believe I can share. I think we can do something special here. I think that's what's important. Probably comes from a lack of likes on Instagram when I was younger. I was like, no, don't want to model. Nah. I like this, guys. I like this, May. This is where we want to be. Will you paint a picture of us for our wedding? Is it a joke where I'm part of the us? Because I missed it a little bit. But if you'd like your wedding shot painted, we do that often on this channel. So, and I love doing that. Like I say, I love painting love. So if you've got some authentic love that you want captured in a wild, crazy style, I would absolutely love to put paintbrush to canvas for you. You just have to find someone who wants to do that with you, a picture that captures the moment, and then fill out the commission form. And I would absolutely love to be a part of it. Here we go. There we are. Personality comes through in your art. May, are you calling me a fossil? It's a little bit rough. I mean, I am getting older, yes, but I don't think I'd call someone a fossil till they're at least 80. I've got 50 good years in the gun before I'm a fossil, surely. Hello, Lizeth. That's a fun name. First time I've seen Lizeth on TikTok. There we go. I'm going to dive off that colour, combine it into our pastel aquamarine. Cheers, mate. Blue is stunning. He's at the horrible age of 25. No, I'm not. 5 years older than that. But I was at 25, and 5 stars would give that a good reference. 25's fun. But I think I suit my 30s. I mean, it's hard when you're a kid in high school and things, and you're no good at sport. It's sort of tough to figure out where you fit in. But in your 30s, you sort of get to a stage where you think, actually, it more matters about what makes me happy and what I can do to make others happy. And so, here we come painting. Here we are. Esta Balmeso Pintas? No hablo español. There we go. Little bits of this. How old am I? May. I am the delightful age of 30 years old, which is quite young in terms of artist terms. My career as an international sportsman would be coming to a close if I was an international sportsman. But my career as an artist wouldn't have even begun. So, it's kind of fun. And it's been pretty cool. As you progress as an artist, your fans who were there at the start, who own work of yours at the start, and grew with you at the start, who followed your style, because you inevitably change as the years go by. Having those originals is such a compelling thing, because imagine if you had one of the first 100 paintings that someone like, I don't know, any artist did, who then goes off to do thousands of paintings. So yeah, no, I get that there's thousands. Got the first 100. This guy. I think that's fun. Anyway, here we go. She asked what the painting was in Spanish. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. The painting is a fossil. I'm not sure how to say that in Spanish. Fossila? There we go. Then that's going to go through here like that. Perfect. Fossil? Oh, you said the same. It looks like a snail shell. Well, Roo, you were on the right track because it's a helix fossil, similar to what a snail shell is. So, you're on the right track, I'm on the right track, we're on the same track, everyone's having fun. It's all just beer and Skittles over in this corner. Here we go. I'm going to sleep this. Also, guys, this isn't going to be a long stream today. I wanted to get on and spend some time with you, but we can only be here for a brief period. It might be 30 minutes, it might be an hour, but it'll be a quick one. I know. I would have liked to be here for 6 hours, but I have to dash. Do not worry, though. I've got some pretty exciting stuff inbound. We all liked the parrot. We've got a portrait of 3 parrots coming up. It's a commission. It's been brewing for a long time. And now we are on the cusp of pulling the trigger on it and getting it started. So, what is that, Seb? It's a fossil. It's my fossil. I hope you like it. Where am I dashing to? Well, if you must know, my parents are in town. And so, when they arrive, I'm taking them out for dinner. Because I'm a sweetheart like that. And that's basically it. But they're earlier than expected. So I said, jeepers guys, you're making good time. And they said, yeah, we'll see you 3 hours earlier than we thought. I thought, ooh. But they're on their way. So, you want to meet them. Unfortunately, I don't think they want to stand in front of a camera like their son does. So, that might be a little bit tough, Michael. Here we go. Let's get a little bit more black through here. There we go. Get that depth of colour. How about painting them? I have done them both before, Steve. Early on in the piece. So that would have been jeepers. You're testing my memory now, Steve. That would have been going back to maybe 8-10 years ago now. But very, very fun to paint your parents. It's interesting, especially if you try and you notice which facial features that you over notice. Areas where you get hung up on and have a hard time acknowledging just the shapes. You try and see a nose, you try and see an eye. Got to actually ignore that. And let yourself just see colours, shapes and moments. I use paint, I lost it. I write songs instead. That's pretty cool, Catherine. Good for you. Make some songs, baby. Do what makes you happy. Unless it's art, then go back to art. You're not talented at all. I think you have got your own perception of what you believe talent is. Because I think you've got everything you need to do what you want to do. You know who was, you say who's not talented at all. Do you know how much a Pollock sells for? A Pollock sells for hundreds of millions of dollars. You know what you know what Pollock did to make those? He fills a bucket with paint and pushes it around the room until he's done a sufficient amount of random splatters. Let me repeat that. Random splatters. He makes them as random as possible. He has as little input in those splatters as possible. He pushes the bucket until eventually he thinks, good. Now, is it Jason Pollock? I forget. I think it's Jason Pollock, but I forget. But the thing about that is, Pollock is one of the greatest painters of the modern era. And I think you've got as much talent as you need to push a bucket around a room until you're happy with it. So Jackson Pollock, there we go, not Jason. Honestly, I'm not a Pollock guy. And my art history was well before that. But the beauty of that is you can always, as an artist, think, right, I've got enough talent to push a bucket. Since I've got that level of talent, I can easily be within the top 10 most famous people of all time. I just need to actually want to do art now. Because that was one key thing about Pollock. He wanted to do art. He wanted to make something special. He wanted to connect with people. He wanted to do something out of the ordinary. You've got to want it. You saw his painting. I am left-handed. And yes, thank you. I have done some live drawing. It's not really my thing. I do like a photo. And the great thing about a photo is live drawing's always still. You're like, no, but it's a person. It's not a still life. It is a still life because they sit still. A photo is always special because you can capture movement or capture a specific moment in lighting of a sunset. You can't capture that otherwise because what happens is the colors change so fast that a camera immediately grabs those colors and turns them into something special for you to use, to make your art from. What are your intentions? What are my intentions? It's a good question. My intentions are to make the world a better place. My intentions are to make as many people as possible happy. My intentions are to make art that connects people and reconnects people with a real, authentic feeling. Instead of going around, how often have you felt like in your own life that you're going around numb? Just numb. Just going through the motions of a day. I think art's got a little bit of the equation, not the whole equation, but art's a little bit of the equation to snap you out of that and to bring you back to the fact that this is your life, this is your reality, and you have as much of a right as anyone else to go out there and live it and enjoy yourself. So art's good for that. Now, let's have a look-see here. Not to be mean, but that's what artists say. I think there was a lot more to his style. Yes, there is depth in Pollock, and the fact is, one of the most famous things said by an art critic was fame is a shuttlecock. To go up, it has to be whacked from both ends. So Pollock was also a genius. We make fun of his art, he's a genius. There's two kinds of people who engage with Pollock stuff and engage with it intensely. Those who don't like it and those who love it. This is very, very good. Hold on a second. Let me just grab this. One second, team. Hello! Cool. That's all right. I'll come on down. Okay, cheers. Catcha. All right, guys, there's the curtain call. We didn't do a whole lot, but we had some fun. Did you guys all see the surfboard? Did everyone see the surfboard? I think I'll post some photos of it anyway. If you didn't see it before, you'll see some photos of it and we'll go from there. I'm going to bring this up before I disappear real quickly. They're literally not too far away. I'll show you this here. So there's that layer there. The wood there, that's my cedar wood. And then that layer there is the liquid glass. And now if I hold this on the angle, you'll see, okay, there's what that blue's doing. See how it's hitting it with shadows? And so we start building up layers on layers, literally a centimetre apart. That's the go. Now, the last time this technique was used, see it there? There we go, now we're talking. The last time this technique was used, to this degree, was on a work on someone in the stream. Steve, your work Aboriginal was done in this style. Now we're making a fossil in a similar style. There have been works in between here and there, but that's two good examples. And actually, if I bring it back up, Steve, You may notice similarities in the brush strokes on this to the brush strokes on Aboriginal. Not similar subject matter, but very, very similar styles. Okay, now, now that we've done that, I've got to go. You're all absolute champions, guys. I've absolutely loved getting in here and doing a quick session with you. I'll do a longer one in the very near future, but for now, that's all we can do. Look after yourselves. If it's daytime, nighttime, middle of the day, middle of the night, do your thing, whether that's coffee, wine, or just sitting there. Anyway, I hope you find another stream that will look after you. Sending love your way. Catch you guys. Bye for now.